Bună ziua! Am doar 8 minute. Și cred că mai bine să facem în limba engleză. Am permisiune? Poftim? Ah, merci. Are you serious? Are you serious? This is what you hear when you hear, I understand that Mr. Ponta resigned. Are you serious? Or, I understand that Mr. Opera had more motorcycles than George Bush. Are you serious? I don't want to talk about politicians today. No. That's boring. I want to talk about the word serious. Serious is sort of a North American word that means, are you courteous? Are you courageous? Are you decisive? When I meet people I like, I was going, I like Bogdan, he's serious. Now, my friend Yoda has a different way of saying things. He's always destroying the English language by saying, serious, are you? But he says it in a philosophical way that you just sort of get it. You're going, oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, so I am serious. Now, we're going to talk about trends, HR trends, and I'm not going to talk about the trends so much, but what you're about to see now is a list of trends from The Economist. And I've added my own too. The first one is population is getting older, people like me. And also Romanians are leaving the country, which is terrible. But there's also some HR trends happening, and you will be part of that. So I'm going to focus on you now. You're much younger, and what does this crisis mean for you? So I'm going to help you by giving you some tips on how to become serious. But on top of that, some HR people are saying, you know, in the middle level, the age group I'm seeing in front of me now, there's a serious problem because now we don't have the creativity, we don't have the adaptability, and we don't have the networking skills. So because I coach people, I coach professional managers, and I coach executives, I know what the word serious means. So what I want to do today is to give you 5 tips on how to get serious. Okay? Ready? And what should you do to get ready for these trends? Hold on, put your seatbelt. This is going to be extremely complicated. First one, show up. Show up? What's the first rule in leadership? Show up. Show up at a meeting. Have the courage to come to a tough meeting. Show up for your employees who want you around as a boss. Show up for a client. Trivial, you may say? Well, let me give you an example. I called Marius, a good friend of mine. I said, Marius, I'm selling my apartment. Send me some names, you know, agents. He sends me this one lady. He says, you remember we worked together? Yeah, okay, so I book a meeting. She cancels. So we book a second meeting. She cancels. Now I'm thinking, okay, like in the US, 2 strikes, 3 strikes, you're out. I'm thinking, okay, she's from Marius, I'll give her a 3rd chance. We book a 3rd meeting. She doesn't show up. Here I was, a motivated client to sell my apartment, and this person she opted to not show up. So please, ladies and gentlemen, show up. If you want to be serious as a business person, show up. Do what you say. If you're going to do something, do it. Does that seem complicated? But your people depend on you. This is your word. This is your commitment. People will judge you on the fact that you do what you say. You say what you do. Time management. I have 2,600 people in LinkedIn. I have 6,000 people in my Outlook. In 10 years in Romania, do you know how many project managers I've met? Anybody want to take a guess? 0, close. Who said 0? 0? You're close. I met 5. I have met 5 project managers in Romania in the last 10 years. Why? Well, that tells us we're terrible. We suck big time at time management. So embrace it. Even though you've taken a time management course, take a refresher. Trust me on this one. Because as you're the only one left in Romania managing a business, you'll need to juggle. As you advance in your career, you have to do more stuff with the same amount of time. Network with your peers. Networking is one of the most fundamental skills you need to adopt. Not in your 20s, not in your 30s, not in your 40s, not in your 50s, all the time. As a leader, you develop people by finding people. How can you find people if you don't build your own network? This last one, the number 5. I know! Știu! Știu tot de fapt! Sunt tare! Știu! One of my clients, a global courier company, told me I had to meet the senior managers, and one of them was a operations fellow, 36 years old, 9 years in the business, and he says, I don't need training. Poftim? I don't need training. Okay. The boss warned me. I said, okay, well, instead of convincing him, because coaches, we don't convince people, we sort of show them the way. I said, let me tell you a story about me. I teach marketing at Maastricht School of Management, MBA, pretty smart people. And I tell my students, and in fact there's a few here today, I tell them at the end of the course, you know what, I think I learn from you just as much as you learn from me. And you know what, I'm really not a marketing expert. And they look at me funny going, but you're the teacher. I can lead a class, but I'm not an expert. How can I be an expert when digital marketing is changing so many times? So, getting back to our friend Yoda. You will be serious when you show up. You will be serious when you do what you say. You will be serious when you get this time management thing. And imagine, if you're so good at time management, you've got free time for fun, family, and friends. And you've got time to network, because you may want to meet the person 3 meters down the cubicle to build part of your team. And the last part, embrace training. Training will make you even more valuable than you are today. And that's what we're talking, because this HR crisis means low supply, high demand. So by getting trained, you will be more valuable than ever. Okay? Now, I'm quite pleased that Kilian is one of the best people in Toastmasters. He is very modest, but if people didn't know this, he is a professional speaker, professional public speaker, and he was responsible for telling me last year, Paul, you need to come up with an audiobook. So quite pleased to tell you how the audiobook now available. And these are my clients, the people I've worked with in Romania and abroad. This is my website. I have one question for you now as I finish. Are you serious about becoming serious? Thank you.